This is the earliest biography of Muhammad, Sirah Rasulullah, biography of the Prophet Muhammad, and it was written by a Muslim, Ibn Ishaq, 130 years after he died. This is also another biography of Muhammad, a more popular version written by Martin Links in 1983. Now, everything from this book comes from this book. The reason why Sirah Rasulullah is so important because it's the foundational piece of every other book written about Muhammad. So why not read the primary source? Think about it like this. If I want to learn about the life of Jesus, Christian or non-Christian, we would go to the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that were written 10 to 50 years after he died. Because the primary sources are where we go to find out about the life of Jesus. Every other book written about him comes from the primary sources. Even if it's not perfect history, it's the closest events to his life. Similarly, Sirah Rasulullah is the equivalent of the Gospels for Muslims because this is the earliest primary source that we have about the life of Muhammad. So why should we read Sirah Rasulullah and not Martin Links or even just listen to your teachers? Let me ask you something. If Muhammad is your favorite person in history, the man you claim to love, the man you claim to follow, the man you claim to emulate, why would you settle for somebody else's version of his life? Why not read the primary source for yourself to learn about him? Look, Martin Links' book is beautiful, it's smooth, it's poetic, but it's also filtered like the women that you see on Instagram and TikTok. He skips over the hard parts, he softens the edges, he picks the nicest narrations. It's like reading a movie adaptation instead of the raw script. And that's the difference between Martin Links' Muhammad and Ibn Ishaq's Sirah Rasulullah. This book was written 130 years after the death of Muhammad. For contrast, Islam's most trustworthy sources, Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, they were written 220 to 240 years after the death of Muhammad. This is a compilation from his companions, his family, the tribal poets, and battle reports. So if you want the earliest, fullest picture of the life of Muhammad, this is still earliest to the source, even when you compare it to the most trusted hadith collections. You see, in any movement, whether it's religious or political, leaders who fear scrutiny will often discourage their followers from digging into the original text. They want you to read the summary, their interpretation, not the raw material. Why? Because when you read the primary source yourself, you start asking questions. You start seeing the full context. You meet the actual person, not the poster. Real confidence in a belief or message doesn't hide from questions. It says, go ahead, read it, judge for yourself. And that's exactly what Sirah Rasulullah invites you to do. So here's my challenge to you. Put down the summary and pick up the real source. Because if Muhammad is worth knowing and following, he is worth knowing firsthand. So if you don't want to read a 600-page book, I have an 8-page summary. Just comment below or hit me up in my DMs and I'll send it to you.